Girlfriend is in huge panic after I exposed her affair to her parents and cut her out of my life completely. This is a throwaway. All names changed. It is going to be long, so bear with me. My ex Anna, 23F, is my sister Abby's, 23F, best friend. My sister and I were never close, mostly because I spent most of my life in a hostel and moved out pretty quickly after I got into college. When Abby started college, she moved in with me to save money. So I got introduced to her best friend of over 16 years, Anna, and we started dating. Abby had a huge role in this because she seriously wanted us to end up marrying each other. However, the relationship blossomed and we moved in together. So, me, Anna, and Abby lived together, and it was amazing. We were like a happy little family. The relationship was progressing smoothly, to my knowledge. We had plenty of sex, and Abby made sure she gave us a lot of privacy. It was bliss. Until she cheated on me with her ex. I recently got a promotion and my work hours increased. So one day, I took a half day and came home to hear Abby yelling at Anna as loud as humanly possible. I didn't want to get into the middle of it, so I just waited for them to be over. She was yelling stuff like, "You shouldn't have contacted XBF. You shouldn't have ducked him. Can you even imagine how hurt I will be? If you don't want him, break up." This piqued my interest, and I went to the lawn and eavesdropped on their conversation. She had been ducking him for 3 months, and basically went to him when I was at work or when she told us she had class. Most of the conversation was her justifying her actions, and Abby yelling at her for being human garbage and that she shouldn't have told her. From what I could gather, Abby knew about this for quite some time. She was saying things like he charmed her into bed, that he was a god in bed, and it had nothing to do with me. She loved me with all her heart, supposedly, but still had some unresolved feelings for XBF. She wanted to experiment sexually, which she could obviously do with me. She was trying to validate her actions by saying that humans are not made for monogamous relationships, and that it doesn't matter anymore because she ended it. At this point, my sister got a call and the conversation ended. I was heartbroken and went for a long walk, after which I called my best friend and asked him what to do. He immediately told me that I should just take my stuff and move in with him. We made a plan. I would go home and act tired, and leave at night without their knowledge. I did what he said. My sister acted like everything was normal, and even though I tried to coax some information out of her, she didn't budge and stuck to her lies. This made me feel like she was at fault. She betrayed me, not as much as Anna, but she did. Anna even tried to initiate sex, but I was utterly disgusted at her. When everybody fell asleep, I packed some stuff and left. I didn't leave a note or anything. I just left. I blocked both of them everywhere. I called my father and told him everything, and he supported my decision. But he said that I should try and forgive my sister, and I told him that I would try. Within a week, I sent them a notice to move out within 30 days. Abby texted me from another number, and we talked for some time. She was extremely apologetic and said she didn't know what to do. She asked me for an extension on the date because neither of them have enough money to move out, and that they'd move out within another 14 days. She offered to cut Anna out of her life to save our relationship, but I thought it was too late for that, and that it didn't matter. I was not interested in any relationship with either of them because they had broken my trust when living under my roof, mostly on my money. She had known what was going on from the very beginning of the affair, but chose to remain silent because she didn't want to damage her relationship with me or with Anna. I told her that I'd try to forgive her and hung up. I unblocked her at my father's request. Meanwhile, Anna is miserable. Apparently her depression is back with much more intensity. She has panic attacks at night because I'm not with her, has nightmares of me getting married to someone else, and in general has a lot of anxiety. All she does is stay in my room and hugs my clothes. WTF. She has withdrawn from all her friend circles. She doesn't go to college anymore. She barely eats. She does send me a bunch of emails, but they go to trash and she is blocked on all of my social media. Now, Abby and some of Anna's friends have contacted me and asked me to get back with her because if this goes on she would die. They know what's happened between them because the ex-BF told them. He was just using her for sex, and did make that clear to her. He was unaware of the fact that she was in a relationship. He ended things when he felt she was developing feelings. But still, her friends ask me to talk to her again, even just as a friend. Ideally, I should feel no sympathy towards her. She was well aware of the ramifications of her decisions. She could have told me, and maybe I could have forgiven her. She could have broken up with me. She could have done a number of things which would have resulted in this being much more pleasant for both of us. I really don't want to talk to her again, but I am concerned for her and feel a bit guilty over the fact that she is deteriorating mentally and physically over me. I'm helpless. I feel like I overreacted. I feel like she deserves closure at least. I don't know. I feel guilty because I cut my sister out of my life. I need some unbiased opinion on my reaction, and some advice would be greatly appreciated. TL, DR, my 25M, XGF, 23F, of 1.5 years cheated on me. My sister, 23F, who is her best friend of over 16 years, was aware of the affair. She hid it from me. All of us lived together. When I found out, I ghosted both of them. I sort of reconciled with my sister. My sister and my ex's friends told me that she is deteriorating mentally and physically, and that I should get back with her. Update: first of all, I'd like to thank every person who lent me an ear. I haven't been able to respond to a lot of comments, but I have read every single one. Okay, so some people suggest that I should have a conversation with her. In all honesty, I don't think I am ready to face her anytime soon. The conversation she was having with Abby made me feel very inferior, and I don't want to feel that way again. That is part of the reason why I ghosted her instead of kicking her out. Her apathy towards the whole thing was really hurtful. I don't want to see her or get back with her ever again, just to be clear. Her mental state has always been fragile, and she constantly changes therapists because they are not good enough, or it was not working. She is on medication for her anxiety. I am fairly certain she has her medication with her, but I don't think she has been taking them. I still feel responsible for her though. As for my sister, I don't know how long it will take for me to talk to her again. But now I most certainly can't. I'll post an update in a day or two if something happens. We have reached the end of the story. Let's listen to some of the comments by our Reddit listeners. Comment 1. Completely unreasonable to ask you to get back with your cheating ex. You did not overreact. As a matter of fact, I think you've been extremely civil throughout this. I'd go so far and tell your sister the next time she contacts you that just because you unblocked her for your dad does not mean you want to talk to her. Comment 2. Well, she can't have it both ways. She can't love you so much she deteriorates over your absence, while also disrespecting you enough to cheat on you regularly. She's deteriorating because she's facing consequences to her actions. She's staring at her own behavior and is uncomfortably conscious now that those actions are hers. She's not the kind person she thought of herself as, and she's being forced to face that. That's why she has panic attacks. That's why she's deteriorating. Don't open this up, The clean break you created initially is perfect. Filthy girlfriend who cheated lied to my face and screwed her second chance, so I had to cut all contact. Me, 23M, and my girlfriend, 22F, have been together for a little over 6 years now. We met in high school and overall we're a very happy couple. During the last months, I noticed that something had changed between us, which I think, for one part, was due to the fact that she had moved to a city about 1.5 hours away in 2015 to work as a flight attendant. I stayed as I am going to university near my hometown. So we did not really get to see each other as often as we were used to, and I think the communication in our relationship has suffered due to that fact. Things got worse when I had to write my dissertation and study for a tough test at the same time. At that time, I felt like she did not really understand how important all that stuff was for my future, and was not really supportive. At the same time, she told me that she is truly unhappy with her job as she is always on the run and never really gets that feeling of being home. We talked about it, and in the end, she decided to quit her job and move back to our hometown. After all the exam and dissertation struggle, we spent a great holiday together, and I, for my part, felt an improvement in our relationship. However, when we got back home and she had to start working again, her contract runs out by the end of September, things got worse again. She often cried and told me how unhappy she was with her situation and the fact that she has not found a new job yet, and all the uncertainty that comes with it. I always tried to comfort her and told her that something will come up, but I had the feeling that I could not really get through to her anymore. A couple of weeks ago, she told me that she had planned a trip with two of her friends to a location, which is infamous for its parties. I was a little worried at first, but thought that this might actually help her to clear her mind. I trusted her 100% and never had a reason not to do so in the past 6 years. During that 4-day trip, we did not really communicate much. I tried to call her several times, but did not get a response and only a few texts, which did not really sound like her, but I did not worry too much at that time. She came back last Sunday and told me that she was really tired and had to get up early to go to work, so she did not want to come over. At that point, I realized that something was clearly wrong, but I did not confront her immediately. 2 days later, she told me that she would come over to my house. I cooked a nice dinner and opened a bottle of champagne as I was really looking forward to see her again. When she knocked at the door, I realized that something was wrong. She said that she was not really hungry and only ate a few bites before she said that we have to talk. She started to cry and confessed that she had cheated on me during the trip. My world instantly collapsed, and I could not handle the situation. I drank the whole bottle of champagne and told her to leave. That's about all the memory I have of that day, as I got completely trashed with my two best mates. In the meantime, we have talked twice. She seems to be an even bigger mess than I am. I can't sleep, eat, concentrate, and repeatedly told me that it was the biggest mistake of her life, and that it was only one night. She also told me that she does not have any feelings for the other guy, and that she did broke contact with him. Unfortunately, that guy only lives 30 minutes away from where I live, which does not make things easier. I still have strong feelings for her, but these haunting images that I have in my head are destroying me. I don't know what to do. I always thought that this would be a black/white decision if it ever happened to me, but it turns out that things are not that simple. Update: turns out that she lied to my face when I gave her the opportunity to tell me the truth. It was not that one drunk mistake as she tried to make me believe. She ducked the guy 5 times over the 3-day trip. The sister of one of my best friends was with her on the trip, and he knew all the time but did not say anything as he wanted to give her the opportunity to tell me the truth. I confronted her and she confessed. She said that she lied to me to save our relationship. I think that shows how mentally ducked up you have to be in that kind of situation. As if lying would save a relationship. Afterwards, I completely passed out for the first time in my life. Probably because my mind could not handle it. Luckily, I had a friend who took care of me. I still cannot believe how a human you think you know better than yourself can change that drastically over such a short period of time. Something like that can really duck with your worldview. I started to question everything, but I hope that I will be able to fix this in the future. Time will tell. I'm definitely done with this crap. I actually thought that there might be a chance to make this work again, but now I know that this is not going to happen. I cut all contact. We have reached the end of the story. Let's listen to some of the comments by our Reddit listeners. Comment 1. This sounds completely planned, but now she has buyer's remorse. Despite your love, I could not continue this. She says it was only one night. She's minimizing the situation and hopes you're the chump who takes it on the chin. Don't be that guy, be strong and move on without her. It is not an easy journey, but you deserve better. Comment 2. Between the two of you, I think she's the one with the ducked up worldview. All you have to do is reconnect with the idea that it's worth trusting people who haven't proven themselves untrustworthy. Comment 3. If it was me, I'd break up and move on. Relationships rarely recover from infidelity, and you are too young to go through the heartache of trying to make it work. Of course, you still have feelings for her, they won't evaporate overnight, but will you ever trust her again? Wife freaked out when I said I'm suing you after she cheated with a coworker. Last night I got into a fight with my partner after she told me that she only left her AP because I told her that she could get sued for sexual harassment and lose her job in the process. The reason for that is she was having an affair with her subordinate. Today when she came home she did this entire song and dance crying, saying she didn't remember saying that or anything else last night. I'm done. She can't even say she loves me like she means it any longer. I asked her when she fell out of love with me. She said she didn't, but there was no honesty in her voice. It's a few days before Christmas, and I've just been laid off effective December 24th. I'm done with her, and I'm done with my toxic work environment. She never loved me. She had been using me the entire time. I feel pretty hurt, but I'm so done with her. I called my local domestic violence line and feel they gave me pretty good advice when they told me to go get myself a place as I'm interviewing and processing my layoff. I was told to give myself the side that I need to do so in a safe place. I started to look for a hotel just night in my area and learned it would cost around $1,000 for the week. I didn't want to book a hotel last night, but then I realized she wasted my entire night that I could have been applying to jobs and interview prepping for the 5 interviews that I have tomorrow. I've got to get the heck out of here and not look back. I don't need her any longer, and she feels that. I'm really happy about that part. I'm also psyched that I'll be earning more money than her after I change jobs as well. I'm so done with her. I just want to get on a plane and fly away. I work remotely and my next job will be fully remote as well. We own a house together, and that's the only tie that binds us at this time. It's time I find an attorney after I get a new job and move out of here. It's a duplex and I've thought about giving a no-cause eviction to my tenant so I can go live on the other side of the duplex until getting rid of this house has been finalized. Living here would be more economical than getting an apartment. However, I no longer want to be near her. I'm on my own again. I could use a little support and some new friends. She's isolated me away from my friends so much, so that I've lost most of them during the pandemic. I'm a good friend who is trustworthy. I don't deserve her or her treatment. I'm just done and excited to get away from her. I fear I'll be lonely, but know in the long run I'll be okay. I also realize that there's a ton of people out there that would love to be my friend, and they are just waiting to meet me. I'm finally in a headspace where I'm excited to meet them too. We have reached the end of the story. Let's listen to some of the comments by our Reddit listeners. Comment 1. Congrats on starting your new life, friend. You're not out of the woods yet, but you will be soon. Personally, I am glad you realized what steps you needed to take to be happy again. Good luck on your journey, friend, and I wish nothing but the best for you. Comment 2. You're not alone, you have us, and I am so proud of you for putting your foot down and taking back control of your life. Good for you, and keep us updated on your journey, because we got you. You do the boss things, continue this boss the things. You got this. And like I said under someone else's comment, reach out to your old friends, I'm sure they're waiting to hear from you. Reach out to them. You got this, keep us updated. OP reply. That you for your kind words. I've been in touch with some of my old friends this missing. I didn't have the courage to tell them what happened. I feel embarrassed about it. However, I did feeling the courage and strength to reach out to a DV resource center, and had a really great call with them and found plenty of resources. I have 4 job interviews today, so I'm hoping those go well. If those go well, I won't feel like I need to walk softly around my partner any longer. She's already getting the front that I no longer need her, and I do like that. It actually feels snowing empowering. I've also gotten myself into therapy, and that's helping as well.